We need to demand stronger leadership in our urban centers. And that's going to require us to take a look at the worldview that these people espouse. Because what I'm saying is when you have leadership that already doesn't believe in being tough on crime, they already don't believe in law and order, right? They already believe in open borders. That means that their leadership is not vigilant. They're not advocating for policies, and leaders, you need them to prioritize justice, not social or restorative justice. And the other point that I wanted to drive home that I had in my notes that I forgot to bring up is the worldview and the ideology that a lot of these liberal, progressive females, yes, the ideology that undergirds a lot behind what they do, unfortunately, one is pride and arrogance, a lust for power, but they actually hate men. They don't respect men at all. So if a man, think about it. Let me show you how we prove it. They don't respect men because if they did, they would appoint and would have no problem having around them strong men that could readily advise them in the situations that matter the most. But you know what instead they do? They bring a whole bunch of other female orangutans around them, or men they can control that will be subordinate to them and do their bidding, like a Tiffany Henyard. Tiffany Henyard got a bunch of single baby mamas all around her on that board, and it ain't but probably 2 men. Why is that? Why is that? You need to ask yourself, does Tiffany really respect men? No, there's no respect there. So because she don't respect them, she like, I'm not going to submit to, no, I'm the big dog. I'm running things. I'm in charge. And now look at that city. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And so that was the main point that I wanted to drive home, this dereliction of duty. And like I said, I'm not placing all the blame at LaToya Cantrell, but somebody got to have a discussion. Why were bike racks used instead of the concrete barriers that are normally used in situations like this? Whose idea was that? Like, if there were men who got that order, they need to be slapped too. Because they would have been like, wait a minute, these little bike racks ain't going to do nothing. Who approved this? I object. If I could speak freely, Madam Mayor, I don't think this is a good idea. Perhaps we should consider this instead. It just makes more logical sense. I don't know. But I told y'all wasn't gonna like this take, but it is what it is. It's how I feel. It's how I feel inside, right? Shouldn't I be allowed to express express my views without being called a misandrist? I don't hate women. I hate stupidity. And it bothers me that the order in the world is so perverted that the blessing of male leadership that God gave us, we throw it away and we disavow it as if it's bad, and then we label it toxic masculinity. And instead, we'd rather have a bunch of men walking around submitting to us and doing what we say, thinking that that's what it means to be a strong woman. And like I said, I ain't trying to implicate black women in this, because you got some white liberal orangutans that are just as bad. Look at the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, orangutan. She an orangutan if I ever met one. Destroyed that state. And then you have the governor of Massachusetts, orangutan. Now she probably trying to lean a little bit away from her orangutan energy, because she finally just realized, I don't need to fight Trump on this illegal immigration situation. But she was talking real big and bad and getting real froggy with it up until recently. Orangutan. Kamala, orangutan. And she ain't black. So see, We got plenty of white examples too. I told y'all, this is not dermal. It is a behavioral characteristic. It is about your mindset and your behavior. Chaos is all the way around these women. But when you look at Governor Kristi Noem, running her state, running it well, full of efficiency. Look at the governor of Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Like, it's a well-run state. She's married. I'm just saying, you got orangutans that come in all stripes and colors. Let us remember that is a behavioral characteristic and not a dermal one. Y'all not going to accuse me of just always beating up on black men. Now, I do highlight a lot of the black ones, but there's plenty of white ones. We can go down the list and name them all.